Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. It's an episode here on Custom Car Bros, and in this episode we're going to be jumping back in on my Volkswagen build. Now, if you haven't seen this build yet, you don't know what this is, but this is a 2002 Volkswagen Beetle that is on top of a 2000 Ford Excursion that we're converting into a 40s inspired cab over, as you can see right here. So anyways, without further ado though, we're going to go ahead and jump right in, not waste a moment. So we're going to take some cardboard to start off, and we're going to create a template. That's basically going to be the side panel right here. We don't have the metal quite yet, so we're just going to make the template first. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right in. Alright guys, so basically now we're going to go ahead and take this piece of metal and start putting some curves into it so it matches the body, the fender, and the hood. So let's go ahead and let's get to bending. Alright guys, so now basically we've got that side mirrored over there. That's what I was just working on. So now we're going to jump over here to where the fenders actually jump across to each other. And we're going to take a piece of steel. We'll cut it, I think it's 44 inches from there to there. We'll cut it there, and then we'll try to bend it to keep that curve, because those fenders curve right there. So we want it to match and just be one fluid looking piece that goes from that side to that side. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right in. Well, that metal was a lot harder to bend than I thought it originally would be, and I left a lot of creases and some ugly, it just doesn't look good. So my plan is to save this metal. I don't really know if I'll actually save any, but I'm going to cut off a little bit on each side, and then I'll just get a whole new sheet, and I'll weld it at the back, and then I'll roll it slowly, weld until I get it down, because this thing will not be removable, or at least I don't think it will be. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right in and let's fix this mistake. Alrighty guys, so we went ahead and we added some L brackets right here, basically holding on the top half of this fender to hood transition thingy-mabobber. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and cut some pieces of steel, drop them in there, and then just try to make this look a lot prettier and also strengthen it up so it keeps that curve even when we take this off. So it's pretty simple, but let's go ahead, let's do it. Alright guys, so now we need to go ahead and figure out something basically I'm going to take this 3/4 inch steel and I'm going to try to figure out a way to basically hide this gap. I don't know if I'm going to try to make this flush and basically extend this sheet metal right here up 3/4 of an inch, or if I'm going to extend the hood down 3/4 of an inch. I'm not 100% sure, but either way we need to figure out something because that gap just doesn't look good, so we need to fix it. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright guys, so we went ahead and welded on some pieces of steel to kind of extend up into this seal, and it's looking really good. Now we're going to go ahead and replace these self-tappers with some actual nuts and bolts. That'll be pretty simple, just drilling the holes a little bit bigger, and then of course all the way through. And then we're going to jump over here, and we need to actually flush this up because it's not very flush. There will be a little tiny body line right here, so we're going to have to go through and add some steel and then grind it and just overall just get this the best we can right here to match with this line. So we're going to do that next, and then we also need to remove the self-tappers, and we're going to weld a nut onto the cab, and then that way you just tighten down the bolt from the outside. I'll show you it in a minute. It's easier to do than explain. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get that done. Alright guys, so now we got that nice and bolted up. We're going to go ahead and jump onto the other side and do basically everything we did on this side. Add those bolts and then add the steel up here to help support this thing. So let's go ahead and let's jump to the other side and let's get that done. Alright guys, so we went ahead and we basically made this panel just like that side. It's all welded up and stuff up here, and it's looking really good. Alright guys, so we're going to be jumping back into the interior. We need to fix some things that I kind of rushed and ended up screwing over. For instance, the pedals, they're just overall not well placed. They should be more that way, and then also a little bit more up, a little bit more back, and then also they just push down instead of in. So we're going to have to be making our own metal stuff for that. But that's okay, we can figure that all out. But anyways, it's way easier to do than it is to explain, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so we went ahead and we finished the gas pedal. We ended up rebuilding the entire thing, mostly off camera, because it was just a lot of tedious going from here over to the welder, to the grinder, you know, back and forth. And it was just really hard to keep a camera with me. But anyways, we got that done, and now we got the full pedal working, and it just goes in more, and it's just way better, and it's shifted over obviously as well. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off this brake piece, and we're going to try to shift this pedal over to here. Now the thing with the brake pedal though is it's got a master cylinder, so we can't just shift over the entire pedal assembly. We're going to have to shift over the pedal itself, just the pad. So I'll move the pad over to about here. It'll have some extensions out of this really thick steel we got right here. So we'll go ahead, we'll get that all marked up and figured out, and hopefully it'll be strong enough.